This week in New Orleans, we step off the party streets to discover a different side of this fantastic city.
Garden District elegance, Congo Square history, and a ferry across the mighty Mississippi.
Keep watching to see the real New Orleans. Welcome to New Orleans, the home of jazz, soul food. Let's go and see if this city lives up to its fantastic reputation. Come with us.
A great and fun way of getting around New Orleans is using the trolley. The trolley has been used continuously since 1835. Lots of trolleys are almost 100 years old. But so low cost, $8 each for 3 days to get around the city, which is brilliant. And we've certainly been using them since we got here.
And here's the famous Mississippi River. It's not lovely, I'm going to be honest, it's not lovely. It's giving me echoes of the Chow Phraya River or the River Thames, just all a bit brown and muddy looking. But this, like all these rivers, has been so important historically and now culturally as well. It's a paddle ship steamer. What the Mississippi River is famous for. You can go on those for the day. It's around $65 if you want lunch, or $43 if you don't want lunch. Nice wee thing to do, I imagine. We're here in Louis Armstrong Park, and how nice to be here. It's a beautiful homage to the man in the place that he was born. Let's go and see. I know this is a tram.
Nice little
A statue to Charles Buddy Holden. He's remembered as the first king of jazz. I just don't understand why he's got 3 heads.
Maybe that's why he was good. I'm sure 3 heads is better than 1, particularly in the jazz scene.
I know it's November, but it does feel a wee bit unloved.
Yeah, totally a bit unkept, it really does. There's some of the buildings there that need a bit of work on them. Bit of shame really.
We're in Louis Armstrong Park, and we're in particular within Louis Armstrong Park, we're in Congo Square. Now Congo Square is famous for the roots of jazz music in New Orleans. The jazz music came from the enslaved Africans who would meet here on Sundays. It was their only day off, and they would meet here and gather here on Sundays to pray, to worship and to make music together. And that is where the roots of jazz music began, and then they flourished in New Orleans. And it is a poignant reminder, and it's good that it's here and it's noted as a famous landmark in the whole of the United States. It is a poignant reminder of how people can persevere and find joy even in the most harrowing and tragic times.
We're in town, you can come check it out tomorrow. Yeah.
We're going on the old muddy, the Mississippi River. And I can see where it gets its nickname from. It's a bit muddy.
well, we're on the Mississippi River. This is somewhere that I've just saw on the telly, from storybooks. Huckleberry Finn? Yep. So it's great to be here and great to show you this iconic river.
Okay, thank you. A wee row there. You've got to be sitting down or you have to go downstairs.
I'm fine upstairs.
Yeah, me too. So we could have gone on the paddle steamer that's behind us, but that was $51. So we decided that we would just go on this one, which is included with our Jazzy Pass, which is $8 for 3 days. So I think we got a bargain. Can I say though, do you know what this reminded me of, James?
What's it remind you of?
Do you remember Bangkok?
How could I forget Bangkok?
And there was all these beautiful ships, really aesthetically pleasing, and James said no, there's this one, the free one, and to be honest, I'm surprised it floated.
I think I had to hold it up, to be fair, because that's how bad it was outside with my...
James is in the back kicking his legs.
Exactly, I know, worked hard, kept it going. But this is nicer.
No, it is, this is yeah, less aesthetically pleasing, but it still feels seaworthy at least.
I'm good with it.
My feeling is it probably was a bit of a waste of time doing this. I'm not convinced there's much over here, but it was free and James likes to do free things. But we're heading to Algiers Point, which is just the other side of the Mississippi River and still part of New Orleans. Looks like we're going to jail.
Feels like it.
Now, is it kept a secret because it's so good that the locals don't want you to come here, or is it kept a secret because no one cares because it's rubbish? It's not speaking to me, it's not whispering those secrets, but I'm happy to get a look around, show you a bit of the place, and you can make your own mind up with us.
I'm hopeful. I'm thinking the jazz will shine here. Let's continue this jazz walk. Yeah. It is New Orleans' second oldest neighbourhood. Yeah. It does feel very old. It's not, I suppose, polished or... Polished probably the word, because it doesn't matter, city centre, whether it be the French Quarter, Bourbon Street, it's still polished. And so is the boulevards. But maybe this is a real New Orleans. So this jazz walk appears to be that the lamp posts are all named after a famous jazz musician. It's a bit like the Hall of Fame on the slabs, isn't it? Yeah. It's a very nice thing to be celebrating someone's achievements and their life. And it is, it's a nice walk. And oh, wait a minute. Tell you what, I know I mentioned earlier, but I don't know whether I'd rather be in this one. There's no name on it. Could this be another one for James Jordan? I mean, it could be. Have you got any jazz connections? Yeah, a bit of jazz. I can do a bit of jazz. What, jazz hands? Yeah, Jimmy loves jazz. Oh, great place to lead from. A fabulous place to leave from. That certainly looks like the boogie boat. Can hardly wait. 2 days from now, we will go on Norwegian Cruise Line. Very similar to the Carnival one there. And that looks brilliant. Party on the roof.
Yeah, it certainly looks and sounds high energy. I'm just not sure if I'm going to like a cruise.
That was a very quick stop.
Very quick stop. I think we saw what we wanted.
Yeah, but the Jazz Walk was nice.
Yeah, it would be good to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, just get a nice walk. But that was it. I wouldn't say it's a secret worth discovering.
No. But what it does do, it gets you on your pass, the Jazzy Pass, to get yourself over the Mississippi and pull it back again. It felt a bit like a boomerang, but there we are. I'm thinking we might have just stopped a smidgen too quickly as I come across the courthouse. It does look magnificent.
I think there was more to see over in Algiers Point than we saw.
But too very fun.
We're in the Garden District today of New Orleans. So far, what we're finding is beautiful houses and homes that seem to be the epitome of how you might imagine Louisiana and New Orleans.
It's just so different. It's great to be out at the city centre and explore.
Gosh, look at this for the pavement. Like a roller coaster pavement. Woohoo! Look. This is how you imagine New Orleans and
Yes.
America, isn't it?
Yes.
Like the American dream, doesn't it?
Absolutely does.
These houses feel like the epitome of the American dream. What do you think?
Definitely feel different from a lot of America. The southern states have definitely got a uniqueness, and the architecture in here is just so different. I wonder, everyone talks about real estate in America as being so cheap compared to UK. So could I pick that house up for 50 grand? Or maybe have a wee further look into it.
That is something I would like to do on the channel if we had more time, actually. Maybe something to do, you know, like when we visit places, go and see houses that are for sale, because I love that. I find that interesting.
I love that as well. Well, the place in the sun do it.
Totally.
The place in the sun can do it. JordanJaunts can certainly do it.
Yeah, because if Place in the Sun do it, the house will have been sold and rebought by the time it's on the television. Whereas if we do it, it'll just be done within a couple of weeks and they'll get some extra publicity.
Win-win, that's what I say.
And we can all be nosy. Look at that house.
That's stunning. Lovely avenues, eh? Lovely avenues. Look at the avenue.
Look at the porch. These are gorgeous. They're also a wee bit like some of the horror films. So I find them in some ways a wee bit creepy.
Particularly at Halloween, when all the pumpkins out and all the scary costumes and decoration. It is quite the suburbia of New Orleans. Glad we've came and saw it today, and great to show you it, because this is probably the side that a lot of people won't show.
We're on the corner of Napoleon Avenue and St Charles's Avenue, and this is where Mardi Gras starts. Mardi Gras, famously held in New Orleans every February, starts here and it goes from here right along into the city onto Canal Street. So while Mardi Gras didn't start in New Orleans, it actually came from French and it's associated with Lent. So kind of like our Pancake Tuesday. Anyway, While New Orleans didn't start it, they certainly perfected it. A wee bit of Caribbean spice makes the whole thing one super party, and New Orleans is famous for it.
What a spectacle! It is alive, it is energetic, and it is vibrant. What a time to come. When you come back in February.
Why not?
Big time. But too big time.
When we were talking to people about coming to New Orleans, people were like, oh, the food there is brilliant. But if I'm honest, I've not found that.
I would agree. We're both vegetarians. We're not vegans, we're vegetarians. And we would be looking for some tasty food. And we're not finding it. It's yourself out the city centre, and I suppose away from the tourist areas into suburbia where most people live in New Orleans. A different thing altogether.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot more range of food. You know, the pizzerias, still oysters, but also Vietnamese and Mediterranean food, which is often better for vegetarians and vegans. Got to say, I can see why people come though, because despite my grumbles about the food, I love the place.
And as we turn different corners, I'm sure we'll discover different places to eat. It's just not been easy.
It's really interesting to look at the way houses are built here. It looks essentially like these are built of wood and on stilts. Been invited in, I'm going in. Is that okay? Wow. Ajá. Ooh. Hi. Hello. I'm Nicola. I'm from Scotland. And we build houses differently in Scotland. Yes. So it's really interesting to see this. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Cool, eh?
It is fantastic.
It's going to be big.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
Well, we're not taking you to a house for sale, but we're taking you to a brand new house. And how just shows nosiness pays off.
I have got some understanding why, when the hurricanes do come, why the houses blow away, because they're not got that strong structure that we have maybe in the UK or different parts of America. But maybe that's the point. There will be a reason for it, and there'll be a reason why we build houses this way, but it certainly will be a lot more low cost. It reminds me a wee bit of when we had a house fire and we started to get it built back inside without the bricks on the outside. That's probably the difference. It's great to see, and actually so nice to be invited in.
Thank you, bye, bye. Here's one that's further on its journey of remodelling, and here's a finished product that worked out perfectly.
So we hit the treble. It's part of the Jazz Pass. We've got the bus, the trolley and the boat. The pass has certainly worked out for us. We're just about to leave the amazing St Charles Hotel here in New Orleans. It's been a great stay. We've stayed here for 4 nights and it's been very comfortable, very friendly. What a great breakfast. So come with us as we continue this Southern American road trip, whereas we're getting ourselves a wee bit further south now, more like the Caribbean. Norwegian Escape awaits us.